card connoisseurs enjoy great food too. That's why inside Stone's Gambling Hall you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fire pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California. Hello everybody, welcome to the broadcast, Stone's Live Poker. Stop touching my stuff. My name is Veronica Brill. Next to me is The Jake.
The Jake. How you doing?
Rosenstein, Axel Rose. Your last name bothers me. Today we've got a great 5-5 game going, and already I've heard there's some great action happening.
There's been a lot of action where you had aces versus kings with an ace and a king on the flop.
Oh,
Big pot.
So we've got some of our regulars, a few regulars, and then some new people have joined us today.
That's right. Jason Nick Roberts is back for us, giving us lots more action. We saw from him in the last game on Monday.
Jason is going to be great for this game, and then Kyle is directly to his left.
Your honey badger. That's right.
The honey badger is directly to his left, and I am sure we'll put some pressure on Jason tonight.
Looking forward to it.
Let's get down to the table and take a look at the players, and we'll introduce everyone. So Jason is sitting on $1,400. This is a 5-5 game, and the cap is it's $500 to $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000 max to start. After that, table stakes as usual.
Yeah, so Jason's got $1,400. Kyle has $2,100. Casey in seat 3. He has
River Quads Casey.
River Quads Casey. That's your new name. Poor guy. He's got 900. Matt in seat 4 has 1,900. Anthony in seat 5, 1,300. Peter, seat 6 again, 1,400. We have that spot reserved just for Peter.
That is Peter's spot. Do not touch Peter's spot.
Joe in seat 7, 1,300. And then Watbury in seat 8 is 1,000. And Clint in seat 9 is 1,000 as well. So we see a hand developing right now. Wow. What? What just did I see? What I think I see
Peter with pocket aces, and I think the flop is ace ace
quads. And he will. Oh, I think that I think we saw 2 aces on the flop.
I believe so. Yeah, the turn card is king. And Peter shows quads.
Yeah. He's not going to get paid off there. There's only one other person in the pot.
It really is. It's the worst thing is flopping quads or turning quads, making any sort of quads. You know you're not going to get beat, but you also have the deck so crippled that you really stand to make very little
You're
money.
just praying to the poker gods that someone hits something.
Or that I'm in the hand and I'm going to try to rep quads.
Yeah.
It's what I do.
Shove all in.
Yeah.
So Rick and Barstow, hello. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you very much. DK Barrel, this is a spectacular room. It's actually a fairly new gambling hall. We're just a card room. There's no loud slot machines. There's no smoke. We have 17 tables of blackjack, pie gow, and all other stuff. And then we've got an enclosed poker room with 17 more tables and a lot of great action down here.
And without those blinking lights, I don't get confused so easily. I can
like
find my way
a
to
deer
the
in
tables.
headlights. He never makes it into the poker room because he just gets stuck at the
all the shinies.
slots. Yeah. What Bry?
Everyone has to have an alias.
All right. If you tell me how to pronounce your name properly, I'm going to purposely not pronounce it properly. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
So yeah, 4 players headed to a flop here. 9, 3, 6, couple of clubs.
Limp pot.
Looks like Clint has flopped the best hand here in a pair of 9s.
So I was hoping that we would see Mike Postle here today. I was wondering if people were watching our last episode and watched how out of line he got and how no one punished him for it. No one 3-bet no one 3-bet him all day.
We talked to Mike after the stream, and he came in that night with the intention of, I'm going to play every hand, I'm going to make every move,
And that's awesome.
He ran right into Jason McRoberts, who I think came into the same intention of, I'm going to do everything.
I'm just saying they allowed him to raise and stay in every hand, and
it helped that he was running pretty good too. And there was
that helps. That helps.
Yeah, that never hurts. Looks like Casey put out a bet and took down the pot.
We can see all the chip stacks there. I'm glad to see my honey badger back.
Good having Kyle in the game. Always good having Kyle.
He's good if you want to watch how to play perfect. There's Kyle.
I'm not giving him that much credit yet.
I haven't seen him make too many bad moves. He hasn't paid off people. Like I've seen, like Jason paid off Peter last time, so we're developing some history with these players. But I have yet to see Kyle make too many bad moves. I mean, I'm constantly making them, you know, and he's just like a reverse of opposite of me. Quads, go all in.
I'll find a way to do it wrong.
So, high roller, 100K guaranteed, January 10th.
January 10th. $1,100 buy-in.
You can also do so. We're having a Mega Satellites. Mega Satellite sheet. Mega Satellite, a $240 Mega Satellite Saturday, January 9th.
One out of 5 gets entry in. 15 seats guaranteed.
It's a warranty, 15 warranty. And then Sunday, December 27th and January 3rd, we're going to do $130 buy-in satellites also. And they're also going to do Saturday too. Saturday sit and goes, 240 and 125. So we're trying to fill up the
as we get closer to the kickoff day, they'll start running sit and goes all day, every day. Rain, snow, shine, tidal wave. Looks like Peter's gonna put in a raise here to $20 for pocket nines, a hand I seem to always wake up with. For those of you who've played with me often enough. Jason's gonna make the call with a suited ace.
I like the call there with suited ace in late position. You can never have a bad hand in late position.
No. And Casey's gonna defend his big blind with the Jack 5 suited. King 6-5.
Beautiful flop for Peter.
Peter's
he doesn't
hands.
know it yet.
Peter's gonna check the nines. Then they go to the turn, and an ace peels off, and giving Jason the best hand.
Is Peter kicking himself under the table for checking the flop?
Peter probably is kicking himself a little bit for checking the flop. At the same time, he might have figured he was already beat. Didn't really like that king out there, evidently. He's gonna check over to Jason. He's gonna put out a bet and take down the pot. Easy game. Yeah, I would have liked to see a bet there out of Peter on the flop. I mean, no one else really had it. In case he had a pair of fives, I don't think he would have stuck around. Would have much rather see a little bet out of Peter there to see where he was at. He would have shut down.
You're a C-bet on switch.
I'm a C-bet machine. It is. I mean, most flops miss most hands, and
if you've got a pair, you're.
Well, for the same reason, I also don't fold most flops either.
Yeah.
I figure everyone's C-betting. I'm always C-betting. I figure everyone else is always C-betting. And just...
It's a C-betting party.
Yeah, everyone... Let's just get to the turn and see who's got a real hand. Looks like Clint's put in a raise to 15 here with the ace-9 offsuit. Jason's woke up with the same hand that we just saw Peter have, a couple black nines.
And he's 3-betting this.
Kyle puts in a 3-bet, or I'm sorry, Jason puts in a 3-bet, Kyle gets out of the way. It looks like it's going to raise him 90. Blinds don't have much. Clint doesn't like his ace-9 offsuit, and Jason takes out another pot. It'll be interesting to see this time around with not having Mike Postle at the same table that Jason was, like we talked about. Both players came in last time, and just, I'm going to play every hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to run over the table if I can, if they'll let me. And they, more often than not, just ran into each other.
That was the case often. So I'm wondering if one of these other new guys is going to be loosening up and taking the Mike Postle place.
If anyone,
and putting some pressure on Jason.
if anyone does, we might expect Kyle to open up a little bit. I know we like to talk about how he's super tight, doesn't get in there with any kind of chunky hands, but
I think he's capable of mixing it up. There's no way you can be a profitable player by just playing the nuts all the time. You have to
Challenge
mix it up.
accepted.
I play the nuts are better.
You'll get eaten up by the rake. You will.
Looks like a lint pot here.
Those are always fun. Whee!
Flop comes down Queen Jack 7.
We still don't know what Peter's got. He's putting his cards in the wrong spot. He will be punished for it later.
Absolutely.
We punish people after the show. They have. I was gonna continue that, and it was gonna get worse. Just leave it at that. I fold.
There we go. Joe's gonna put out a bet of 25 with his ace 8. And it's gonna be good to take down the pot, it looks like.
Have these guys
mind you, actions on Peter, I apologize.
These guys done shots or anything? Let's get this party started.
Not yet, but I do see Joe has what looks like tea or coffee, so he's living life on the edge.
On your edge.
On my edge, that's right.
Peter's got something.
Peter's got something. But Joe's got position.
I'm gonna put Peter on a Jack 10.
Peter's gonna check back over to Joe. Joe's gonna fire out another bullet. He's not giving up on the ace 8.
They want to know starting amounts for the players. I did announce it when we started. Let me just wait for this hand to play out, and I'll give you guys an update with how much they've got.
Joe bets 90, and we don't know what Peter had, but it was not enough to call it or bet on the turn by Joe.
So
good.
Seat 1, Jason's got 1,400. I mean, this is when we started. Seat 2, Kyle, 2,100. 3, Casey, 900. Matt in seat 4, 1,900. Anthony in seat 5's got 1,300. Peter in seat 6, around 14. Joe in 7, 13. 8 has 1,000, and 9, Clint has 1,000. Notice how I smoothly went over seat 8.
Went over what, Bri?
What, Bri?
Swap Brian 8. Yeah, Kyle's already doubled up a stack. We mentioned earlier he got involved in that before the stream started. Aces versus kings. There was an ace and a king on the flop, so
sick.
There was really no solid Houdini money in that hand for his victim. We also had, I believe it was Matt Holtzclaw in seat 4, 3 or 4, 4.
4.
Run into flop trip aces, run into a flush. There's been a lot of big action already.
So these guys are eligible for the bad beat, and anytime you flop quads, you're praying someone can beat you.
Aren't we all?
Do you know what the bad beat is right now in here?
Just under 50,000, I believe.
And
any quads beat.
Any quads beat.
Both hole cards play. Joe's going to put in a raise to 20. Clint's going to flat call with his jacks. Casey's going to go out and put in a 3-bet from the cutoff to 80 with his 10s.
Oh, and
now here comes Joe. I'm sorry, Anthony. Anthony in seat 5.
Anthony just 4-bet.
Anthony's cards, he's not keeping them over the reader. Maybe we'll get someone out there to talk to him about that. We can't see what Anthony's cards are. He put in a 4-bet to 240 out of the small blind. Joe, who had originally opened up to 20 with his ace-jack, he gets out of the way. Clint's now got a couple of jacks and a real tough decision to make. That's always good posture. Casey, 160 to call.
If anyone is capable of making this call, it is Casey.
Casey's not done yet. He's got position.
And that's it. Position means a lot in this game. And Casey may think that he can outplay him post-flop. It's too bad we can't see what Anthony's got, but I'm thinking ace-king, kings, queens.
It's just when someone 4-bets out of position,
it's strong.
It's super strong. It really is rare that they're getting out of line and just making a move.
I think Casey is considering outplaying him after the flop. Even if he's got ace king.
I think Casey's hoping to God he finds a 10. And then unfortunately Anthony is not holding his cards over the reader. King deuce 4, a couple of hearts. No hope for Casey. Actions on Anthony.
And he's continuing with this story.
Looks like he's verbalized 300.
Into a 525.
And if Casey didn't think he was behind before, he knows he's behind now, and he
didn't pick up much equity with that flop. You know, there's really nothing for him to draw to.
And Anthony showed him something. Couldn't see what he showed there, but I somewhat doubt it was a 7 deuce.
Wouldn't that be sick? Wouldn't that be sick? That would be amazing. I love the 7 deuce game. I mean, watching it.
We should throw that out there. We should get someone out there to tell Anthony to put his cards over the reader and to get these guys playing the 7 deuce game.
I see a little yellow submarine there.
That is a little yellow submarine. Lot ride.
I saw someone alive with a bike with a yellow submarine in front of their chips.
That's some strange
I don't
Illuminati,
know. I'm sure it's
the Beatles innuendo.
Some sort of sexual reference.
I have
some
no idea
that we don't understand.
I just showed him what I had.
Had a whole lot of playable hands in this.
I've only had
It's
him
just
once.
going to fold around on the line.
I've only had him once in the last hand.
I think Wabra had the straddle on, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Peter and Joe were going to complete the blinds and we'll go 3-way to the flop.
It's always seat 5 and seat 6 that have issues with the card reader.
We talked about it before. The table is set up to play 10-handed for tournaments. Of course, we're playing 9-handed cash games. So C5 is he kind of split there between 2 of the readers, and kind of puts him in a tough spot. Joe takes down the pot. No one else really wants to get involved.
And you were playing today, and you had quads. You saw quads?
No.
When did you get quads?
I did not get quads.
You just swapped
Wow,
them
you
up.
just read that text from me? That's like from a week ago.
I care about
We
you.
might have even covered that on the broadcast.
I care about you.
No.
You know what it is? I just hear so many of your bad beat stories,
I don't.
and it's one in one ear out the other. You're always flopping quads and getting beat, or like flopping quads and then shoving all into a $40 pot with $600 and then hoping to get paid off.
That's what it was. I didn't do that, but
I'm just joking.
I was advised that I should have, evidently.
I have to actually tell people when I'm joking because apparently last time they didn't understand.
I'm easily confused. It's always the best man to take your jokes, like write them out on a whiteboard and
I'll write them out.
punchlines here.
Okay.
Casey's gonna put in a raise 25 with a Queen 9 offsuit. Joe's got a playable hand with the Queen Jack suited. He's gonna make a call. Clint also comes along. King deuce 5. Nothing for anybody. You can't see Clint's cards.
Yes, we are on a 30-minute delay.
Clint's got super secret cards, but he puts out a bet for $60. No one else is going to come along with him, and he's going to take down the pot. Wabra, he's normally one of our guys we get pretty regularly in our chat box.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was first to log on, last to leave.
And he doesn't harass me, does he?
You know what? There's just he's a good guy.
It's easy.
He's a good guy.
I get it. I'm okay. He's probably one of the few that have made me cry. It's no different than junior high school.
Absolutely, he's a good guy.
Look at Kyle and his chip stack, and Jason's picked up aces.
Jason's got aces under the gun. and casually flicks out a $5 chip.
Jason, you're such a dirty bird.
And these Kyle's.
Oh, and Jason's just licking his lips with this raise from Kyle. And you know Kyle doesn't succumb to any pressure, so when he gets that 3-bet in his face, he's not going to. He may fold ace jack, actually, never mind. But and then it looks like there might be. Is that just a call? Is he reaching for more chips?
There's a 3-bet.
Oh God, Jason's just living in heaven right now.
So Jason limped in under the gun with pocket aces. Kyle made a raise to 20 with his ace jack offsuit. Matt came along with a 6-8 suited, and Joe has put in a 3-bet.
Jason checked, make sure it's
Queen
same.
jack offsuit to $70, and this little move by Joe might save Kyle quite a bit of chips. Now Jason's gonna Hollywood a little bit. What to do?
How much do I make this raise, this 4-bet?
I'm gonna be honest.
It screams aces.
Exactly. I was gonna say that, like, unless you're at a super soft table, I've never been a big fan of the limping in early position with aces or kings, and then come back over the top of a raise, just because it's so played out. We've seen everyone do that a million times. You tell everyone
You're
immediately where
playing
you're
face
at.
up, but
Yeah. Now,
you know,
on the other side, I've done that with some other hands. With I've limped in with some suited connectors, small pocket pairs.
and that's what I was gonna say. Jason's fully capable of doing this with any cards. I think he mixes it up enough, and we've seen him play very well before. So I think this is enough of a move to make Joe call, and he wants the call from Joe. Joe is so far behind right now.
Joe's getting a pretty good price. He's gonna come along. He's in a really bad
when you
spot,
have aces,
though.
you want to get paid off,
You do, and I think that's something that not enough players do well.
and he's gonna get paid off.
Here's some trouble from Joe. Joe
And good
flops top
fold by
pair.
Kyle. Good fold because Kyle, would have flopped top pair.
Yeah, and Kyle, yeah,
And
Kyle
Joe
knows.
has the backdoor flush draw.
He does.
So
Kyle,
he's got a little bit more equity with that.
Kyle knows that once he sees Jason limp re-raise, that it's one or two things, and he's never coming along there.
I don't think Joe's going to go anywhere right now.
No, and Jason's laying Joe a heck of a price to call here with his top pair and backdoor flush draw. And I don't see Joe folding.
He bet about half the pot, did he not?
Yeah.
A little less than half the pot.
About,
I mean, he's
about half the pot. Joe's just going to call. And Joe probably, right now, he's probably got alarm bells going off in his head. He doesn't feel great about where he's at.
That's going to be a scary card for Jason because, well, you know what? Actually, I wouldn't put like an ace-5 in his 3-bet range. In Joe's 3-bet range. If I was Jason right now.
Jason's probably thinking that Joe's got a decent-sized pair. The only thing Jason's really worried about here is jacks. As it is with Jason limp.
Jacks, though, on the flop.
I would think with that's what I was saying. With Jason limp 3-betting, I think Joe would have put in a raise on the flop if he had jacks. So Jason probably feels pretty comfortable with his aces right now, and he's going to lead out for 400.
That check on the turn might have given him a little more confidence too, in thinking that maybe he's just got a pair here. He's slowed down. No, I thought Jason.
No, Jason's
oh, Joe.
protect.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jason let out for 400.
I'm sorry, my mistake.
And this is it's a really tough spot for Joe. He's got top pair. The four of clubs really is harmless. If he calls on the flop, maybe he thinks he's still good now. I mean, the only thing he really beat here is ace king, but
I think Jason knows exactly where he is. He's making the bet size as a perfect amount to call. Yeah.
it really is good bet sizing by Jason.
Jason's actually one of my favorites. He's playing this hand perfectly.
And
I just hope that this fares well for him.
With Joe's stack size, I'd be very surprised if Jason doesn't just ship it here on the river. Dealer's gonna pull in the pot. Here's your river card. King of clubs. If there was a card in the deck that might slow down Jason, that might have been it. If you maybe really thought that Joe could have kings here. But if I'm really trying to fish for a spot that he thinks Joe could have
Ace
beat.
King definitely could be within Joe's range, and this, he may have not believed him. He might have had Ace King diamonds, and now he hits his king on the river.
Well,
Either way,
once Joe called the turn, I don't think Jason's really thinks that Joe has Queen Jack. I think Jason's more likely thinking that he had a hand like kings or queens, and if that king comes off, then that's one of the hands, and Jason's not going to let anything, he's not going to get outplayed here.
he got insta-called.
Shove it. Joe makes the call.
Took his entire stack. So, did he take his entire stack? What did he have?
I'm pretty sure he's stacked it, yeah.
Joe has 1,300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, as we alluded to on the turn with
I do have to
Joe's
say-
stack size. Joe was hoping that it would go check on the river.
I do have to say Jason played that very well. That was, the bet sizing was great, just enough to keep him in the pot. And I believe he got all of Joe's chips. And and that's the thing. Jason's such a good player. He's probably got a reputation where he's capable of doing this with crap.
What we saw in the last broadcast, Jason get pretty live. We saw him check raise the turn against Mike in a pretty big spot. So if Joe watched me the broadcast before, he knows that Jason's capable of making moves, making plays, and his fold button's mostly broken. He's just kind of pedal to the metal.
He paid off Peter that one hand, and he may have watched the last broadcast and
He very
thought
well, yeah.
Jason's playing with, Jason doesn't have air, but probably not better. He probably can't beat a jack, like a pair of jacks. So, well played, Jason. I mean, it's easy to play aces, but it's not always easy to
I
get.
find a way to screw it up. I'm really
It's not always easy to get the whole stack from the other person. You have to bet very well to entice them to stay.
We got another big hand brewing here. Matt Holtzclaw's got a couple of red queens, and Watt Rise waiting with a couple of black kings. Casey puts in a raise to 20. I can't see in the graphic if Matt put in the 3-bet or not. Matt put in a 3-bet to 70.
Oh man!
And Watt Ride's gonna just call the 3-bet with a couple of black kings.
This is gonna be better than that time that hot guy asked me to dance at prom. It wasn't a slow song. It
wasn't a slow song.
No. But it was good. Queens, kings.
Don't know what Casey has.
And Casey's cards are right over the readers, so
He's got them in the right place. Casey's played this game before. He knows what to do. 4-4-6.
Casey's got 4-6.
If we know Casey's flop quads. It's a really good flop for Matt's queens. He didn't get 3-bet by Watt Rise, so he's got no reason to believe that Watt Rise got kings or aces in this spot.
So Wattbri's looking like he's got his call button on, and he's just gonna play slick. Yeah, let Matt hang himself.
The only thing he's really going to slow his hand down is if an ace peels off.
Is Casey racing with a 4 here? Is he about to raise? Look at him. He looks like he's got dirty thoughts in his mind. What is he going to do? Look at him. He's plotting something dangerous.
He's eyeballing Matt's. Oh, okay. He
was about to pull a trigger.
He was eyeballing Matt's chips there. I think if Watt-Bry hadn't smooth call behind him, and there's a card going to slow down the action. That might slow down for both players.
You know what? That's actually a good card for Matt. He can represent now that he has an ace.
And right now, Watt-Bry is wishing he would have 3 or 4-bet free.
But he's in call mode. He's like, how much? Okay, I'm married. I'm married to these cards. I'm not going anywhere.
It's a good card for both players. It's now far less likely either player has an ace. I expect Matt to make a little call, or make a cut a little bit here, and he'll probably get snapped by Watt-Bry. And there's a snap.
Watt-Bry's like, if you've got an ace, I'll pay you off, but here's my kings, I'm married.
Wow.
At farmersonly.com.
And I think Matt's probably...
That's where he married his kings. That's where he met them.
At Farmers Only?
Yeah.
Jeez. I think Matt was really surprised there to see Wobrai with the kings. After when he didn't re-raise him in position, he didn't put in a raise on the flop. He just called him down the entire time.
Yeah. You know, he might.
The ace slowed down the action quite a bit on the turn, but
He might be just new to these players. He might just be playing a little passively right now. And maybe he's been hurt by kings before.
he just doesn't trust them.
He doesn't trust them.
I'm probably leaning more toward that. Wobrai is going to wants to get a little trappy tonight. I think there's some live players out there. There's definitely some live players in the feeder game right now.
You know, it's hard playing against a sticky player that will not fold when you can't even represent an ace on an ace-high board, or you can't. I mean, maybe I just do a bad job, but it's hard playing against those people. They're going to call you down no matter what if they like their hand.
Jason's still stacking chips.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I agree.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Let's take another limp pot here. 5-7 ace, couple of spades. Peter's flop middle pair. Wobbrai's got top pair, and Kyle's
not
pick up a flush draw.
Going anywhere. Second nut flush draw.
Peter leads out to see where the pair of sevens are at. Wobrai makes the call with the stop pair. Jason has got super secret cards and is probably leaning toward getting away from the action. Kyle's going to overcall with his flush draw, and they'll go three-way to the turn. Peter picks up a flush draw to go along with his middle pair here. He was the aggressor on the flop. We'll see if he can pick up or keep the aggression up on the turn. He does. And Brian there, Wobrai and C-Day, he folds the ace-deuce there. I don't think that's a bad fold. Even though we see that he's got the best hand, but he's got no kicker to go along with a pair of aces, and with a Peter, who generally we've seen play pretty snug, fires the flop, fires the turn. Ace-deuce, I just don't think plays very well there against Peter, even though we can see that he actually had the best hand.
Now, I'm not going to say that Peter has the reputation of a woman, but I'm just going to tell you that as a woman, anytime I'm playing, and a lot of women can attest to this, they assume you have the nuts. They are assuming if you're raising ace king, you got ace king. So it's these guys are giving Peter a lot of credit, and I've seen them do this through the other broadcasts.
We saw Peter in the last broadcast open up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Peter's also he's very aware of his own table image.
Yeah. And you know what? He's exploiting the other players by using his table image, and I like it. Good for you, Peter.
I concur.
Look at him, he's just delicately drinking out of his straw.
All the time thinking, suckers.
Yeah. I just want to call him Yellow Submarine. I don't want to call him Wobrai.
Joe's gonna put in a raise to 20 with Queen Jack offsuit. That hand has never done him dirty. Clint comes along with the Ace Jack offsuit right behind him. Peter comes into the pocket threes. Joe going right back to the well, right back to the Queen Jack offsuit. Graphics. Crazy.
So it's okay. Just stop looking at them. Just look at what the action.
Joe strings out another bet there with the Queen Jack.
Joe's turned on his beast button, and he is in beast mode.
Clint's got the best hand, makes a call. Pair of aces. Heads up to the turn. Five of diamonds doesn't help anybody. Casey's still in the hand. The graphic doesn't show Casey, and I believe Casey has ace 5, if I'm not mistaken. Casey, I think, is turned 2 pair. The graphic doesn't show Casey still in the hand. I'm pretty sure he has ace 5. And I think Joe's fired out another bet.
I'm kind of lost in this hand. I'm not sure if Casey's
Joe's-
actually in the hand or not.
Casey's in the hand. Joe checked. Clint bet 180 with his pair of aces and jack kicker. I'm mostly positive that Casey's still in the hand, and I'm pretty sure I saw from the graphic pre-flop that Casey has ace 5. Heads up to the river. River's at 6, doesn't help anybody. We see Casey is still in the hand. Looks like it goes check on the river. And Clint throws his hand in the muck. So yeah, Casey had ace 5. He didn't show it in the ground. Casey had ace 5.
That was fun.
We're gonna have to ask Walt Bry the story behind the submarine. Is it just some egregiously large card protector that he uses to?
Someone, Ricky Barstow was at the game at the where was he? Yeah, the LA TV broadcast in like 2010, I guess. And someone had a submarine there. I don't know if it means something. We'll ask him.
We'll ask him.
Live at the Bike. There was someone with Live at the Bike.
I think he was in that broadcast as well.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was him.
Still doesn't tell us the story behind the submarine, but sure.
Okay, so
Some people just like egregiously large card protectors.
Yeah.
I personally find it annoying.
Yeah, any kind of card protectors are annoying.
Like when your friend gives you a wizard, they hold over your cards.
That friend should die. That's probably the worst friend in the world. They probably don't give you meatballs ever, and probably don't invite you ever for Thanksgiving.
King 9-5 is flop. Looks like everyone's in this one.
$25 pot, and everybody's in.
And Jason has finally stacked his chips. Good for you, Jason.
Kyle put out a bet, and it looks like Joe called with a gut shot.
Another king on the turn. Doesn't help anybody.
I don't think Kyle's going to stop betting here. I think he's going to continue telling his story. He does have the best hand right now. Joe found a fold.
Joe found a fold.
I thought his fold button was broken, but it's not.
Yeah. We think Joe might be done playing Queen Jack offsuit though. It is
For the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, give it a 5.
It's so pretty though.
Casey's got the button here in seat 3.
I love the Twitch feed. I do, even when it hates on me a lot. Whee, Peter, pocket tens, the little race.
It's like a raise to 20. Action on Joe. Jason's now got somewhere in the neighborhood of about what, $3,000?
Kathy's on the feed. Hi, Kathy. Sorry, I'm not listening to you.
Okay, it's all right.
Me and everybody else.
Me. Anthony's gonna make the call in the big blind with the Jack 10 offsuit, and Anthony outflops him. Gonna check it over to Peter.
Well, Peter's also got a gut shot now, so he might be optimistic about this hand.
Peter does pick up the straight draw. Betting a call.
And a straight draw.
And now both players are open-ended. Anthony's still got the best hand, but Peter's still firing. Looks like Peter bets 75? 75. Anthony's not going anywhere. the definition of a brick. Goes check, check,
Chicken dinner.
and Peter gets bad news.
They said we're needling Joe. We're not needling Joe. We're just pointing stuff out. I'm gonna grab some water. Do you want some water?
Yeah, please. Jason's putting out a text right now, it seems, probably telling all his bestest buddies about that one hand, that one time he had pocket aces, and now he has all this money, and he finally paid back all that money that he borrowed from them. Just kidding. Thank you.
Did you finally pay back all your backers?
You know, the way I see it, it's their problem for backing me. I mean, that's
what I tell them.
That was their mistake.
When they come and ask where you are with a bat, they want to break your knees. I'm like, it's your problem. Kyle's got ace king.
I'm not easily found. Clint's going to put in a raise, though. He'll open up the action at 20 with the 4-6 suited. Kyle re-raises to 55 with ace king. Matt's got the button and ace queen suited. Matt's not going anywhere. And Matt is cutting out 4 betting chips. There we go.
Peter's hand does not look good right now, whatever it is. He's looking at it like, nope, I'm giving up on you. I don't love you no more.
I'm really curious to see what Kyle does here with the ace king
Kyle
versus a 4-bet.
is going to reach into his 5-bet pocket, and he's going to pull it out. Oh, God. The 5-bet.
I don't even have a 5-bet pocket. I have like...
Because you're all in already. There's like $5 in the pot, and you're shoving all in when you see a nice hand. Oh.
There it is. There's the 5-bet.
Honey Badger. Honey Badger. Did you see him look at his ace queen like garbage? Out of here. That's what... Don't mess with the Honey Badger.
Matt immediately folds.
And what a good fold.
It is a good fold.
What a good fold.
Ace queen doesn't play very well against 5-bets.
And, you know, it is balancing fear and ego, like I always like to say, well, like my husband always says. And, you know, when you let your ego get in the way and you're pissed off that someone's 5-betting you, then you're gonna lose money like that. But he knows that ace queen doesn't flop well against 5-betters.
Yeah. I think either player, though, and mind you, it's a 5-bet, so I don't know if Kyle would have considered himself committed at that point, but I think one more raise after Matt put in the 4-bet, either player was then ready to fold after another raise. So after Kyle puts in the 5-bet, if Matt 6-bet shoves, it's hands instantly over, or from Matt's perspective, as soon as Kyle 5-bets, it's over. It's done. But Matt could have very well saved himself some money in that hand, putting in the 4-bet with ace queen there. If he would have flopped an ace, next best kicker, he could have stand to lose a lot more in that hand than the $240 or whatever it was that he 4-bet with. 3-way to the flop, ace, jack, 3, couple of diamonds. No one's got any really. Jason's gonna lead out with his gut shot. Just drawn to a king. Kyle's got one of them. Also has a gut shot. He needs Jason's 10. Just gonna make the call. Clint doesn't like it. He's out of the way.
That diamond's got to slow them down a little bit.
Jason picks up a diamond draw, and you're right, it's going to slow him down.
Kyle might try to represent diamonds here.
I think he should. I don't... Oh, going to check back.
It's like a little vomit in your mouth
It
right
was.
there.
I was just like...
Oh.
It's going to go check, check, and Kyle's king high is going to be good in this hand.
Kyle's good even when he's not aggressive.
Oops, I had the best gut shot.
You know what? They probably want to. They know their stacks are so big. They know their hands are kind of mediocre. They don't want to get too crazy.
And kind of like maybe he's thinking that he knows Jason can be a little bit creative. Maybe if he had a flush, might have been thinking to check raise on the turn or something. Or
Yeah, and that's the last thing you want is to represent a flush, get check raised, then you have to fold and can't see a river.
or just re-raise.
And yeah, he's capable of that.
Put in another raise, maybe drawing dead. That happens. Pages out of my playbook.
Winning. by
Maybe
Jake.
drawing dead. Maybe.
How to pretend you're not drawing dead by Jake.
Right?
Got a raise by Casey. King Queen. Looks suited. It looks suited.
Someone. Same colors. Same color, same difference.
Same. Everyone's gonna fold.
Raise and take it down.
How'd you get stuck in here with me? What happened?
I drew the short end of the stick. It was me and Roger, and we were talking one night, and it was just like, you know what? Like, one of us is going to be in the booth with her, and I drew the short stick. It was.
I thought you guys got into a fist fight in the parking lot, and the loser had to be in the booth with me.
You seen I can take Roger?
You suck.
It's too much fun. I wouldn't miss this for the world. Or like a, Happy Meal or something. I have no idea.
I want to know the standard at which you set this show at.
Word on the street via Twitter is that we might get a PLO game spread here tonight as well.
Oh, baby.
That's right. There's a list.
A 2-5 or a 5-5? Or...
I think you're talking to 1-2-5 to come in. Something you can open for.
So you need to bring
20.
10K?
Yeah.
Yeah. For Sacramento.
Yeah.
This game actually, when I first got here, I was commenting on how short stacked everyone looked compared to the usual. Like, usually there's so much more money on the table, and everyone was sitting around 1 to 2K. So, and we see, is this a 3-bet?
Looks like Joe's going to open up the action with the Queen 10 offsuit.
And Jason
And
3-bet.
Jason's putting it 3-bet to 145.
And he's going to scoop.
And no one else wants anything to do with him. And he shows an ace. So looking at the feeder games going on, we might have 1 or 2 feeder games. I know we have at least 2 5-5s going right now, a couple 2-5s that can just as easily turn into a 5-5 or get into the feeder game if you like. Bunch of 1-3s.
Some of our regs are in the feeder game. Azan, Olivia.
Zahn, Olivia. I see Sean Drake.
I didn't see Sean Drake.
Sean Drake's right there. Is that Sean Drake looking feller?
Oh, there's that Sean Drake looking guy.
He's that guy with the World Series poker bracelet.
Yeah, that guy.
Him.
That looks like he just fought a bear.
That's right.
He looks like he lives in the woods.
He does
Like you
he
look
does
like a metro bearded guy, but he looks like he fights bears and eats raw meat in the woods.
so close to being like soaking that coffee all over you. 3-way to the flop, Ace King 4. Jason's got a gut shot. Joe's got the almighty 2 undercards. But he's got all the aggression and he's gonna take it down.
$35 pot.
One pot at a time. And what I like about the way Joe's playing right now is he took one on the chin with the Queen Jack.
Yeah.
And he didn't let it pace. He went right back to it, went right back to Queen Jack. We just saw there 7-8.
And I was just gonna say that we don't know how much history he's got playing Jason. We don't know if he's if like Jason's tried to bluff him a million times and he's caught him. So it could be something like that. We're only seeing one hand.
That's true. Kathy Stahl in our chat box, she says I should take my place.
Obviously.
Easy.
Easy.
We can get her, or who we can get in here?
Tell me.
You mentioned maybe getting a game where I get to pick my own commentator and you can.
So I'm gonna host a 1-3 game in February. It'll be a $300 cap, and it's going to be for fun. And I'm going to choose my lineup.
Anthony raises $55 pocket. Sorry.
You're going to do the commentary with a person of your choice.
There's a couple people in my mind. Maybe
Who's on your mind?
I like, Gusto. You've seen him in our 1025 game. Gusto's a lot of fun. Maybe Gusto.
You'll never replace me, baby.
I just won't. But if I can get Gusto to put on a long wig and spew nonsense, he might just be able to, like...
So my husband has a running joke that I'm like a tequila bottle with a blonde wig on. That's how he pictures me. He must find tequila very sexy. Poor guy.
Poor guy. Joe's gonna open up the action here with the ace-jack suited.
I was going to say that.
Thought you might. Raise to 25. Watt Bride will not play the suited king. You give him a plan?
You can actually see Jason's cards now, and he's going to fold them.
Nah, he doesn't like him. No one else got much of anything, and Joe's getting it back one pot at a time. They said that this game needs a straddle.
Oh yeah, I agree.
We saw, I think it was Clint that put on the straddle, or was it Clint, or was it Watt Bride? Was Brian? Watt Bride?
Yeah, it was like on the second hand.
I
But,
believe so. He put on a straddle.
I think that we should allow a Mississippi straddle. And then you can put some pressure on the blinds. I like Mississippi straddle. You ever played? You have never left this city, have you?
Yeah, with back straddle.
Back straddle? It's
Same.
called Mississippi straddle on the button.
I don't want to imply that only players from Mississippi can do that. So.
No, in Vegas, you can do it at many
That's where I
casinos.
play. Yeah.
I've never been to Vegas. Sapphires doesn't count. Those don't count.
Button straddling is great. It's actually one of the only ways I will put in a straddle. What? Why?
Oh, are you talking about the strip club?
No, I'm talking about straddling the button. Why am I going to voluntarily put in money in pot out of position? It's no good.
We'll voluntarily put in money at the strip club.
No, I won't. If everyone's straddling, I'm not going to be the guy that doesn't straddle, because that's just terrible. Kyle flopped a set of eights.
Of course he has, and he's gonna partake in taking people's money.
No one else can't read their cards. Clint's got his cards right over the reader, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. Joe's holding his cards out off the reader.
And Jason's counting his money. As always.
As usual.
Kyle's got to put in some money into this pot. He has a great hand. If he's going to win the hand, he wants to make some money off of it.
There's a straight draw, a flush draw out there. Hopefully, he's hoping one of his opponents has some piece of it.
Even if they've got a draw, they don't have enough. I mean, he's still ahead.
Here comes Joe.
Is Joe putting in a raise?
That looks like a raise. It's a small raise, if it is.
It's like a greasy min
Raise to
raise.
140. I didn't see all the other green chips. Okay, so raise to 140.
Hey, Jimmy Buffett. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Jimmy Buffett messaged me on Twitter, and he told me who he was, and I'm like, I knew it was you all along.
Warren's brother.
No, it's not. No, it's not. This is where you're wrong all the time. You want me to show you?
No.
I'm going to show you right now.
I think Kyle's just going to call here. You can't see Joe's cards. You go heads up to the river.
He's like, please pair the board.
And that's about the worst card that Kyle wanted to see. And Joe's got the super straight. Joe's got the 9-10.
Kyle's capable of folding.
It's not a big bet. I think Kyle's snap
insta fold. Snap fold. Look. You're wrong. Always.
Warren's brother.
No, it's not. You're so freaking.
It's a great fold by Kyle.
It's always a great fold by Kyle.
There you go, just perpetuating the legend of Kyle. And good for Joe to get some back there after taking a little bit of a cooler. is Queen Jack. Just chipping back.
You know what I'm saying, but like straddling the button, it makes perfect sense. You're increasing the size of the pot and enhancing your in position. Like when you're straddling up front, I think it's just like unless you're just trying to
It depends. I mean,
if the size of the game or
if the guys in the blinds are tight players, then yeah, it's a great tool. But if they're
you're just increasing the size of the pot when you're in position, it's good no matter what. Straddling up front, I think it's just. I'm never going to be the only guy that's not straddling.
you're gonna straddle on the button with two loose, aggressive guys, two legs to your left.
Sure.
No,
Yeah,
you always want to straddle the button when there's two tags to your left.
Yes.
What do I know? What do you want me to do, huh? All I do is play 3-6.
Ace 10-5, couple of spades. Anthony's got a pair, so does Kyle. Casey's got the same hand.
And Casey's betting.
Casey leads out with his fives.
We haven't seen much out of Anthony, so sometimes, like we said before, you get card dead, and then it's hard to be constantly active in the live feed. And Casey's ding, 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 something's going off.
And that card will probably slow down the action for both players. Casey doesn't like Kyle calling with the ace on board, and definitely doesn't like a spade. Another ace comes off.
Kyle's gonna fire right now. Oh!
Check,
okay.
check, and Kyle's got the best hand.
Even if Kyle fired right there, Casey would have folded anyway. Wouldn't have made a difference in how much he won right now.
No.
I just can't believe that you were like Kyle's play is just perpetuating the legend that you're building up for him about him being.
I know. Everyone's just gonna be like asking for his autograph now.
Action's going to fold around probably here to Casey, who's got what looks like mostly the only playable hand. 6-7 suited. He's going to open up to 30. Matt Holzclaw gets out of the way. Anthony's going to go ahead and defend it. He's going to just call with the ace-king. King 4-9. Anthony's got by way the best hand. Check, check.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a backdoor to a gut shot.
Anthony bets 45 on the turn. I believe the turn card was the 4 of clubs, if I'm not mistaken. And Casey gets away from it, losing the minimum.
The boom.
The minimum.
So who else are you thinking about bringing in the booth with you? Put a blonde wig on them. We got some Sally Jester Raphael.
You get Justin back in the booth. Justin's great in the booth.
Yeah.
Justin,
Gusto, Kid.
If they wear a blonde wig, they're allowed in.
Kid Kyle.
Kyle, if Kyle opens up, blossoms like a spring flower.
Well, away from that table, he's just like a little pinball full of energy. So.
Yeah, he's so quiet. So if he could open up, that would be great. We're gonna have him in here next week for an hour or so and tap into that brain of his.
Azan.
Azan would be great in here.
11.
Azan's friend paid him $400 to make his Twitter name, Wizard of Azan.
Wow,
that's the story.
All like
no one pays me for anything.
no.
Didn't someone try to pay you to get off Twitter? Didn't they?
I would have taken it.
We all talked about it. Like no one really like.
We didn't approach you?
I would have taken it. I would get off Twitter for a year for enough money.
Casey's going to put in a raise here to 20 with the ace-6 off.
Andrew Barber's like, how much?
10-9 deuce, all spades. No one has a spade, albeit for maybe Matt Holzclaw. 4 of spades, action card. No one has anything.
What's up? I like Cali Donks. Sorry. We're friends on Twitter.
You and Kelly Donks?
Yeah, he's good stuff. He's one of my favorite follows.
Who is your favorite follower there? Anyone?
I've got like a handful of them. I don't remember their names offhand, but I can show them to you. They're just like
Yeah, but anyone like
shenanigan stirrers.
any like big names or anyone like that follow you? Like just like, oh my god, I just need to get some. I need to know what Veronica Will's doing.
You know, I used to like Daniel Negreanu, but now he's talking about space aliens, so I'm gone. I'm checked out of that relationship.
But he's able
No,
to
like-
follow you, yeah?
No, Daniel Negreanu does not follow me.
Oh.
He will not follow me. He doesn't even respond to me. But the local, like the California players are awesome. They're just hilarious. You don't need celebrities. The fun is here, baby.
Jen Harmon follows me, but she's
Ladiga, she follows me too.
She has yet to
Todd Brunson follows me and actually loves me.
advances.
Yeah.
Todd's great. 9, 10, 7, 2 spades. Walk
Ivy's
right.
bot follows me.
Tell Ivy's spot. Walk right has got an open-ended straight draw and spade draw to go with it.
Just call him Yellow Submarine.
Jason's got a pair of 9s and an inside straight draw. Jason's got a lot of 9s. Casey's open-ended as well. Sorry, Jason does not have an inside straight draw. But he does have the best hand now with a lot of 9s. Watt remakes the call.
Once that board pairs, Casey's out of there. Wow.
And there's the card.
So how much does he need to bet to maximize?
Oh wow,
win?
it checks.
Wow.
Checks back. I'm surprised to see Ryan to see Watt recheck there.
And Jason's not going to fall for that. Jason's not going to
The board,
plow into that.
the flush gets there. The board's one card off the straight. I don't think.
He lost some value in that.
Yeah, I don't think that Jason's gonna put in a whole lot more money after that unless he's got a big part of it.
Oh, I'm one of his faves. Oh, you're the best. You're mine too. You are actually one of my faves. He makes comments on everybody's tweets, and they're funny comments, and just not trying too hard. He's just perfect, you know. It's like a good.
That way you understand them.
Yeah. It's like a perfectly made Subway sandwich. Nothing's soggy, nothing's too hot, not too crispy, just perfect.
That's right.
Casey's gonna put in a raise to 25 with a king jack offsuit. Joe makes a call. Can't see his cards, holding them off the reader. Quinn makes a call as well with a 9-10 suited. King 4-5.
Casey's gotta like that flop. It's rainbow.
Casey's gonna check it.
I think Casey's gonna get sneaky here. He might do a check raise. That's what I'm thinking.
Joe bets 45. Clint gets rid of the 9-10 suited. Cost Casey 45 to call. We know he's not folding. Looks like he makes the call. 3 of hearts on the turn.
Why the call there? Is he trying to do some pot control?
Yeah, I think he might be trying to induce Joe to bet. Joe's been an active player.
You also don't want to lose your mind with one pair, right?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to go nuts here. I mean, it's not like, the only thing that he can really beat is King 10. Casey checks it over. Joe bets 110. Joe is not done putting pressure on people. We don't know what Joe has though. I mean, Joe could easily have Casey beating this spot. Casey makes the call. 9 of diamonds, and I don't see any of the action change. I think Casey's gonna check. If Joe's got anything, or if he's got nothing, he'll probably bet, and Casey will probably make a quick call. Looks like it goes check. And Casey's pair of kings is good.
Yeah, the king, king, queen, queen hand was sick. It was. And that's what we want. We want some action. We don't want to sit here and watch them fold all day. They're all on their phones. I don't like that. I want people off phones when they're playing. I love when people are talking, when people are interacting. And I think they're losing out on a little bit of value. They're missing the interaction. They're missing how players change when they have the nuts or when they're bluffing.
And on the flip side, I think a lot of them are probably getting texting tweets from their buddies or telling them what previous games what players have. And so they're trying to not miss too much action, but at the same time adapt to the game as fast as possible.
They're playing open face pineapple, and you know it.
Yeah, it's. And I still maintain I'm the last poker player on earth that does not play open face.
What?
I don't play open face.
It's so fun.
No.
It's crack. It's crack. Anyone who plays it knows it's crack. It's so good and addictive. It's not better than 08. You know we love 08. That's the only thing we have in common. We love 08.
That's right. No, I don't. I mean, and I know as soon as I start playing it, I'll be that guy who's just like always walking around,
Crack.
always has the app open, always.
You'll have
playing,
like your eyes
open
bloodshot. You'll be stuck like your house.
Probably.
Casey's got ace queen suited. What's he gonna do? Little raise. Peter's got aces.
I like Casey's gonna put in a raise to 20. It looks like with the ace queen.
So the problem here with Peter having aces and 3-betting is that they're giving him so much credit for his hands, even his junky hands, that they're gonna give him credit for a big hand here, I think.
It's not a big raise though, and Casey does have a pretty good starting hand. I don't think Casey's just gonna snap fold to Peter's 3-bet with ace queen suited.
But Casey's good enough to not lose his mind with ace queen though. And then, so.
But he's also at the same time, he's good enough to lose his mind with ace queen. So.
Not on this flop.
Flop 10-8-7, only one spade for Casey. Or as the Eternal Optimist would say, backdoor flush draw. But
he has a backdoor gut shot too.
yes. Backdoor runner gut shot. Casey checks it over, Peter bets 80, and Casey's done with a hand.
So, thank goodness that flop didn't have an ace or a queen. It kind of saved him some money. Like I said, he wouldn't have lost his mind with ace queen, but that flop saved him money.
Yeah. I think Casey would have played that hand differently against another player. Like you alluded to, it is Peter. Peter's got a snug reputation.
Yeah.
And
like a woman. I'm sorry, Peter. It's not that he has a reputation of a woman, but women often get that. No, I don't know. Like any reputation you have to use it to your advantage. You have to destroy your opponents for thinking that.
That's why I don't slow play, because
Never slow play?
I never slow play. Everyone knows that something's up.
If you're not exploiting your opponents, then you're probably not making money. Kathy says, yeah, he's tight. But Kathy, you know how it is to be a woman playing. You don't get a lot of credit. You didn't give Kathy credit for the 2 times she had connectors.
For every time.
For every time.
Yeah.
There's no way she's stone cold bluffing here. The graphics are wrong.
In my defense, there was
there's
players.
No defense.
All right. And not a good card for Kyle. He still got the best hand, but he does not like that card at all.
It's not a bad card either, because there's less of a chance that Jason is going to have an ace now. I don't see Kyle folding here. I've been wrong before.
It's only 40 to call, and he's definitely gonna call.
That bet's so polarized. It could be
anything.
Nuts. Could be.
Well,
nuts.
anywhere Kyle could have been thinking about maybe leading the turn or going for a check raise. That's done and out the window. I think Kyle's strictly in check call mode now. There he goes. He checks. Just gonna let Jason string himself up if he can.
I think Jason's gonna give up right now. Jason knows Kyle's got at least a 6. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's putting him on a 6. Maybe he can bet him off of the 6.
He might.
That's the thing. How much of a bet does he need to get him off of a 6?
Well, the thing about it is
Look at Kyle
Jason's-
looking at him. Boo, 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 boo. Detector's going off.
Well, here's what's odd about this is that Jason, he's not thinking that Kyle had hearts. With the board double paired on the turn, Kyle would not be check calling there with just a heart draw. That would have been suicide. So he's got to give.
Don't you think that check call is like he's playing a 6 face up?
Yes, I would think he is. But it's also probably the correct way to play at 6 in that spot, as usual with Kyle. So
Kyle's gonna make this call because he's such a sick puppy. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, there's some talk going on, and I wish I could hear what they're saying.
he asked Jason what he had for dinner.
He asked him if he got his shirt in Hawaii.
Are we still doing that thing later that we talked about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, still doing that thing. You know I like doing that thing. And then
And he's laughing.
I wouldn't be
Does Kyle
surprised.
have fruits on his shirt?
I can't see what Kyle has on sure. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go either way on this. It's the same spot where like if Jason had the ace here, we'd be saying, oh yeah, Kyle's totally capable of making the correct fold here. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make, in this case, a correct call. And
Wow, Kyle. Okay, so he is a human being. He is not a robot. He hasn't been programmed.
and Jason shows a 3-4.
That's so good for the game too, Jason. That's such a good
I never
show.
see Kyle make mistakes.
No, I'm saying he is not a robot now. Now we have confirmed that he's a human being and he can make a mistake. Although that's the first one I've seen him make in like the 4 broadcasts he's been in. Or 3. Has it been 3 or 4?
I'm just worried that he's afraid that he's let you down.
Kyle, you can't let me down. That was great. Yes, we're on Twitch. Stones Live Poker.
Okay, so it's live poker?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Awesome. Once again, we need to expand the penalty box.
I know.
Like,
We should have brought him in to do commentary. Hey, come on in.
yeah, what do you got? You got a question? Don't worry, guys. Can I get your drink order? Sure.
Jason equals Crusher? Yes. Jason is the Crusher.
Yeah, and to Jason's credit, there he had the courage to fire another bullet, and he could have even known that Kyle, like I said, probably has a 6 there. And still could have bet.
Listen, if you don't make a wrong fold, once in a while you're paying everybody off. So he made a
Yeah.
fold to us, the hindsight wizards. It appears as though it may be a bad fold, but most of the time he's probably paying someone off if he's calling.
And then that's the big difference between winning players and losing players. Is money.
I have no idea. I'm a total losing player.
Well, no, yeah, money that you don't lose is the same as money that you win, and if you're sitting around paying everyone off, never getting bluffed,
Exactly.
you're probably a losing player. 9883, can't see Clint's cards. Kyle's got the ace queen in position. Clint's let out for 100 on the turn.
I'd love to see if Kyle ever steams. Like, does he ever get mad?
Someone said, or Callie Doc says, if he calls the turn, he should call the river, period. And there's a lot there.
It's easy for us to say that, yeah. And I actually agree. I would have made the call. I would have.
And yeah, if you're going to call the turn,
Yeah, exactly.
nothing changed.
Exactly.
Nothing changed on the river.
Exactly.
Unless
yeah.
you're but I mean, you can do that on the turn, check call the turn, and then my opponent would only bet the river if he's got it, and you can properly check fold the river.
Yeah.
I don't think it's so simple that just like, oh yeah, you have to check.
The thing is, he looks
check
like a
all there.
genius if Jason had an ace there, and he doesn't when he didn't. Yeah. So, but yeah, it does make sense if you're calling the turn. The river didn't change anything within the hand, so why not call the river?
Well, but there are a lot of spots where because the check calling there looks strong as well, and my opponent then he knows that I'm strong to call. There's like Kyle's never going to call hearts there on an ace 6-6. So
if he hey, he's got to know that I'm strong here, or that I got showdown value. He's got to at least give me credit for a 6, and so he would never bet the river unless he really had the ace. And so I think you can call the turn there with the intention of check folding the river if you're thought and bet sizing is probably a lot to do with that as well.
Yeah.
So there might be some history there where between both players where they know, hey, if he's betting 3/4 pot, 2/3 pot, whatever like that, it's usually more of a value bet. He likes to overbet his bluffs or something like that. And
Some guy named Nit Poker is calling Kyle a nit. I guess it takes one to know one, huh?
meanwhile, Kyle has put in a raise of King 9 offsuit
And one.
and won because he's a net. And everyone's favorite, Chris Hinchcliffe, is in the chat box.
I don't sell blenders. If people don't know, I raise money for blenders for a charity for special needs kids that eat through G-tubes. And so he's saying everyone should buy a blender from me. I don't sell blenders. I raise money for blenders.
Very admirable.
But if you want to buy me a blender, I'll give it to a family in need
Awesome.
with a special needs kid.
I think Anthony's got the button.
Kyle's got ace king suited, so
And
I'm
Casey's
thinking
right
a little
behind him with
raise.
10s.
This little pocket, this pocket of 3, the trifecta here, is a dangerous place. I mean, and Jason's sitting with 2 very strong players to his left, and anyone else would probably have a difficult time playing.
3 very strong players. Can't forget Matt Holtzclaw was right there. Hasn't been involved in so many pops, but you've seen Matt mix it up quite a bit and using just like Kyle.
Don't mess with my trifecta. I've already
Don't mess with
established the trifecta.
Okay, you can have those 3. I'll take the 3 after. Flop 4-4-7. Casey's 10s are still ahead. Kyle's gonna check it over.
Twitch just makes me happy inside, like a Cadbury's mini eggs.
Casey puts out a pretty strong bet on the flop. Looks like he bets 100. And Kyle's not done yet.
Kyle's floating, and he's probably gonna put in a bet right now. Oh, Kyle, why the float? I didn't get it.
Check. Kyle can only win if he bets.
Casey looks like he might pick up a lot of chicks staring at them like that. He's got that massive, deep stare.
The way Casey's played this hand, he's controlled the size of the pot. He can, I think, even go for some value here. I think Casey can and should be betting here. I think if there goes Casey. Casey knows he's got the best hand. Looks like 1 1/4. Really small bet. That's just 100.
Does he think this is a value bet?
I think he does. I think he wants a call here. I don't think he's trying to bluff Kyle off of a jack. I don't think he's trying to
They're
bluff Kyle.
laughing.
He's better.
What's the trifecta laughing about? Oh, I hate not knowing. I feel like such a creeper. Like I'm just creeping in on this game and I don't know what they're talking about. Like I've crawled onto a tree and I'm watching from a window.
Yeah.
I don't get all the jokes that they're talking about. I'm just left in the penalty box.
Something I forgot to mention before is one of the hands that I did and watch before the stream started was Kyle making a good call down with just ace high. And so
I heard about that, and he was good.
he was good. Yeah, he had a better
And who is it against?
player to be named later.
Probably Jason.
No, but that might be going through some of the players' minds right now. But that's size my case there. He really wanted to call there. That wasn't
a defensive bet. That wasn't any kind of bluff. I think he was looking for a call maybe from 8s, 9s.
Can someone get me a chair and just put me in between seat 2 and 3 and just let me sit there like, just listen to what they're talking about? They're probably more funny than you.
Challenge accepted. Casey puts in a race at 35 with the ace-9 suited. Walk ride. Gonna make the call with a 10-5 off. Peter's got ace-9 suited as well. No one flops a pair. Casey and Peter both have ace-9, are both still in the lead. Wop ride with a 10-5.
Twitch chat is the nuts.
You gotta get off of it.
I gotta get off
You're
Twitch.
the rate. You're the worst.
I'm addicted. They put this crack in front of me, and then I succumb to it.
Casey makes a C-bet and picks on the pot.
FT Hustler, I crept up a tree and stared at my ex through her window. Then I caught a case. I can't believe you're wearing a non-black hoodie.
Just something I threw on.
Did you listen to Black Sabbath on the way over here?
I don't listen to Black Sabbath.
That sucks, because they're awesome.
I could tell you exactly what I listened to on the way over here.
I don't want to know.
All right.
Not anymore. You lost me.
Kyle's gonna put in a raise for the king-queen suited.
Peter's got pocket 8s.
Joe's got 8-9 suited in the small blind. Peter makes a call on the button with 8s.
Yellow Submarine's coming in for a ride.
And Wop ride with the ace-9 and on. Jack 6 deuce.
Everybody flops a whole lot of nothing. 8s are still ahead.
Peter's gonna see where his 8s are at. Puts in a bet of 45. No one's got anything. It should be good to take down the pot.
Are you going to stay and play the Omaha game?
Yeah, I think we had, I don't know, 8 or 9 players on the list, I think, and several other players I talked to, they said they were down to play. So as soon as we get off the stream here,
I got a text from
PLO.
I got a
Tony
text
Uke in the
from
house. I'll drag Tony Uke into the PLO game with me.
got a text from Barber. He's coming up for the high roller. So celebrity in the house, our 10K horse World Series of Poker champion.
That's right.
There's a player. If I get to pick my commentator, we can just, me and Barbie in here just.
It would hurt him to do commentary on a 1-3 fun game. It's a fun game. It's not
Fun. It's not gonna be, there's a deep 1-3 rolling right now, by the way.
Yeah,
One of
there's
ours.
always a deep 1-3 rolling in here, and it's crazy. You might as well like buy in for 10K to the 1-3.
I think it's somewhere around 10 to 12 p.m. on the table right
That's
now.
little. Remember that one?
No,
game they had
it's
going?
played bigger, but yeah, right now I think there
There's
is
like
one.
24K on the table.
There's a lot. They say that I listen to Adele.
Jake cries on the way over here listening to Adele, and I saw the CD from the Ghost soundtrack. You know,
That's a great CD.
Patrick Swayze movie. You're a big Patrick Swayze fan, huh?
You ever seen him with the shirt on?
No, you're not a Patrick Swayze fan. What's wrong
Matt's
with you?
got queens.
Hey, Matt's found the playable hand again. Last time Matt ran into kings. He's gonna put in a raise at 20.
He's like, oh, these again.
Wop right does not have kings this time. No one else really has much. Jason's got Jack 9 off in the big blind.
This is not a tournament or to go into the cash game. A 5-5 cash game. Someone asked if this is a tournament or something.
Blinds up next level. Or next hand.
30.
It's funny, I've
I've seen players come into a card room and treat the cash games like two. They'll start out like a small table, see if they can double up, go to the next one, and then at some point, they play
They shove all in with a pair.
they play just like Tournament Poker too.
Yeah. No, not everyone started with 2K chips. Everyone started with one, around one.
The game, you can only start with 1,000, so anyone who's got more than that is either up a little bit or has fought back in. We're playing table stakes, so once someone has anything more than that, you can always buy in up to the biggest stack at the table. So yeah, I think most everyone started when the game started around 4 with around 1,000.
They want to know if these games, the games at this place are comparable to LA games. You played in LA, right?
Yeah, I think at any stakes.
Buy-ins.
Well, yeah, at any stakes, I think the games in LA are definitely softer. Because you're drawing off such a larger population that your percentage of drop-in players, or just the casual guy comes in, wants to blow $100 to $500 or whatever like that. You just have so many more of those versus grinders. That the LA games, just like the Vegas games,
just put in a 3-bet.
They're much softer than they are here, I'd say.
Joe raised initially to 25. Kyle put in a 3-bet, and Joe doesn't really have much of a hand. I think he's going to fold this.
14.
Clint's got ace suited, but it doesn't play very well.
Joe should be called Honey Badger. No way, no way. My Honey Badger is Kyle. That's it. It's gonna stay that way. He may appear as though he's tight, but he's got heart. He's got kahunas, baby. He's not afraid to put in a big bet.
Right now, him and Old Scar are talking about that exact subject right now.
The what?
Silence there.
Stopped listening to you like 15 minutes ago. Jason's got ace queen. The trifecta always has a good hand. Stay out of the crack. I told you.
It's good.
You told me. It's Christmas at Stones. Clint and Jason have ace queen.
Jason's just gonna call with his ace queen.
Jason, oh, he's so, it's so greasy. I love the way he plays.
Both players have the same hand and of course flop the same gut shot. Clint was the aggressor. I expected him to lead out here. No, he's going to check it over to Jason. He's going to put out a bet of 40.
And he doesn't believe him right away.
And Clint's going to immediately make the call.
This is actually a good hand for Jason because he is pretty aggressive. He could represent king. And it's check to him.
Yeah, he does have position. They ask, are no $100 chips allowed? No, you can have $100 chips in this game. I think you can have $100 chips in any game.
Yeah.
Except for, like, 1, 2.
Yeah, 1, 2, it's a $100 cap, so you're not really...
$200 cap.
Is it?
Yeah, you can always play 100 big blinds. 9 of spades doesn't change anything. Both players have the same hand. The most aggressive player wins.
I think I've played it like once. And I remember buying in for 100 because everybody had 100. So they were $1 chips, which was annoying.
Clint checks over to Jason, who's not done bluffing. Jason bets looks like 225, 230-ish.
If Jason had the balls to just raise this, he would win this hand. Folded.
Clint.
Sorry, it's Clint. Clint had the...
Yeah. And like we said, most aggressive player wins.
Is balls considered a swear word? Should I go back to kahunas? Let's have a vote.
Yeah, let us know. I don't know.
Let us know. Was that too graphic? Roger's gonna text me soon. Stop it! It's a family show. Totally gonna creep on your phone.
Raise it up.
18.9% of net worth.
No one has really anything.
Anthony opens up to $20 with ace-9 suited.
Raise.
Peter's right behind him with queens.
Oh, I didn't even see those queens.
Puts in a 3-bet.
Service on 11, please.
I don't want to give this point.
Service.
Action will probably fold back around to Anthony. Will cost him 45 to call. And Anthony immediately just knows that he's way behind.
Don't show the queens. Thank you.
Yeah, queen. Very close. On the scale of 1 to 10, I was like,
And Peter's probably lying to Anthony right now.
How do you react to that when players, you ask player what you have, and they don't show the hand, but then they tell you something like that? It's kind of like,
I don't care.
No.
I just don't care. Once the hand's over, I don't care. I move on. And when players show their hands,
Service
I
on
think
11.
when people are afraid to show their hands, it's so overrated because there's not a lot of players in small stakes games that are taking notes on every move you make. So it's going in vain anyway. I think so. I think if you're showing,
GA on
no one's
11.
taking notes of what you're doing. There's probably a few people
you're saying at smaller stakes.
at the smaller stakes here. Yeah, at the World
Clarification
Series.
before,
Before everyone pulls up on me. At the World Series of Poker,
Yeah, I
sure,
did.
that stuff is way more important. You're playing against a lot of decent, great players. I'm not saying the local players here aren't, but I'm saying like the mid stakes that I play at. I don't think it's that big of a deal to show or not to show. I don't care. Move on to the next hand. And I really hate when people are like, oh, I had the 4-7. I could have flopped. I could have flopped the best hand. I'm like, well, you folded. No one cares what you folded. No?
There's a meme with my face, and that's what it says. No one cares, but yeah.
Yeah, because that's what you used to talk about all the time. Yeah.
About that very scenario, so
yeah.
it played out like the player. Oh, I guess I should have played my Jack 3.
Yeah. I can't stand that. I can't stand that at a tournament.
Or any game for that matter.
I'm done now, though. I'm done with that.
You did? You're all better now?
I got the anger.
Oh, found a button to push. I can't wait. When you host that 1-3 game, I'm gonna tell every single player, every fucking game,
That's fine.
to just come.
I think it'll be fun. I want to host a fun game with a lot of action and shenanigans.
You guys should definitely play 7 deuce. Joe's gonna put in a raise to 20 with ace 10 offsuit.
Queens are just getting around like some slutty girls.
We pitch a lot of queens here. I was gonna say, but you beat me to the punch. What could I say?
And a 3-bet from one of my trifecta members.
Raise to 125.
Do we know what Joe? Yeah, Joe has ace 10. Good fold by Joe.
Clint made the call with ace 6 call Jason, Joe's first bet. He's out of the way now. Action's on Jason. Jason, we don't know his cards, but after he just called the first bet, can't imagine he's got much of a hand to call a 3-bet with.
And there we are.
We're average. At least average.
I got 2 overs and a gut shot, and I'm gonna get there.
You know what? When you get old and you get Alzheimer's, those are the only words that are going to come out of your mouth. It's going to be so annoying at the nursing home.
Yeah.
I got 2 overs and a gut shot. I'm going to get there.
The Legion's family,
He had 2 overs and a gut shot, and he never got there.
That's what they're going to call you.
never
Overs
got
and a gut
there.
shot. It's going to be your old man name. Clint, you've got deuce 7. Nuts.
Ned.
Let's play the deuce 7 game. One day these guys need to play the deuce 7 game. Some straddling, some deuce 7 game.
Oh yeah.
The 3-bet trick should be called a hat trick bet. Yes. Anything in 3s is the hat trick.
Kyle raises a 20 with the ace 10 offsuit. Casey makes a call with king queen suited. Both players flop a piece. No one's got any clubs though. Ace king 6, all clubs. Check, check. 8 of spades on the turn. Kyle still got the best hand. Check again. Casey's River, the best hand, 2 pair. And
Kyle, I think Kyle thinks he's value betting here.
it's a small pot. Helps out a small bet.
And he got raised.
Casey puts in a min raise.
So we saw him make a fold, a full house fold, and although it was a smaller pot, but he just makes this call.
Get the bad news.
Royal hot flush. That's got to be like a 50-year-old woman who's having hot flashes all the time. Did you say plausible?
Gonna look at Quentin there in seat 9. Co-founded FarmersOnly.com.
At least it wasn't cousinsonly.com.
Yeah. Jason's got ace jack suited. We'll expect him to put in a little raise here. Raise up to 20.
Yellow Submarine's got a pair. I think he's going to be staying in this
Anthony
hand.
comes in with a pocket 5s. Peter makes a call. Can't see his cards yet. Joe's out of the way. Watt Bry, we expect to hear to call with 6s. He does. Peter's got jack 10. 4 away to the flop. Ace right in the window. Watt Bry's going to check it over. Expect Jason to put out a little C-bet here. Looks like 40. And no one else has much of anything, and I don't think Anthony or Brian, Watt Bry, is going to stick around with their little pocket pair. Jason's got the best hand, takes on the pot.
This Sunday is
Big
our
stack, 225.
Last Sunday of the month tournament.
Oh, it's my favorite special thing of the month. I asked to play for
your
Christmas.
very favorite special thing.
It is. My husband asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I'm like, please just give me some time to play poker. I don't have any time. So I'm coming on Sunday to play, and then hopefully I'll be on the final table and not doing the live stream, but then we'll have the live stream.
Likewise. Yes. So yeah, this Sunday we will be live streaming the final table of Stone's last Sunday of the month tournament. 225 buy-in starts at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Starts at 11 o'clock. I believe you start with
Now-
15,000 in chips,
I'll tell you.
40-minute levels.
This one sells out. You're guaranteed to see if you come in before the break. I think
Yeah.
before the 5th or 6th level.
Yeah, I believe before the 6th level you have to get here.
But I would get here like 10:30 because it sells out,
or
and
sooner.
then you'll be
Yeah.
on the list, on the wait list for a seat. But it's a great tournament, great structure, run by Justin.
Can't see Casey's or Clint's cards in this hand. Joe's got the 3-5 of diamonds. Yeah, it really is. It's a great structure. Yeah, 40-minute levels. I think it's what is it? Is it a 20K guarantee? But they always exceed that. Joe picks up diamonds on the turn.
We always get at least like 200 players.
Yeah, close to it. Between 160, 200, somewhere in that window.
The last one I played, I missed the one in November, but the last one I played before that was like 225 or something. I remember.
I'm kind of frustrated with that one because I've yet to close one out. I final tabled, I believe, 3 of them now. I think I haven't played in all of them. I think I've played in like maybe. I think I've played in, I don't know, maybe.
I got 12th place the last
10,
time I
8 or
played,
10.
and Kathy took me out.
Yeah, I final table 3 of them. I did final table 2 of them back to back. One of them, I started this final table as a very large chip leader, couple coolers, and I just couldn't close out either of them. Kind of frustrated with it. Maybe
Clint called, and we can't see what he had, but he won the hand. Probably had a queen. So you wouldn't tell me hi from someone? Someone is saying,
you wouldn't say hi. Hi.
Jake wouldn't say hi to you, so hi. Oh, it went by. Kathy is the best. She always wakes up with a hand, too.
A hand that I usually have no idea what it is. I'm just.
You don't.
Yeah, I'm
that's
saying,
for
yeah,
sure.
speculative. And just. Evidently, I've been folding to her far too often. Far too often
That's
my
what she
entire
wants.
fucking career. Yeah. Still got a couple good feeder games going, and I see Rich. Rich is in the house.
Oh, Rich. Rich is good times. Rich and his wife both play.
They do.
Now that's a good marriage. That's solid.
Joe's gonna play in a raise the 25 with the ace queen offsuit. Yeah, Joe's played in our 10 and a quarter game. Our
Wife is playing
5-10. My plays 5-10 when he's playing 10 and a quarter. They are poker junkies for sure. Great people. Great people. 8-6-3, couple of hearts. Joe started the best hand, still has it.
Anthony checks. Looks like he checked.
Joe verifies he checked. That's out a bet of
70?
75? 70.
About a pot-sized bet. I don't know how he does it. Like when I flop top pair, top kicker, I'm never good.
I just
I'm the worst.
not finding ways enough, not raising enough pre. I don't know. Look at it, and the funny thing is, they're all three of them are texting each other right now. All of them.
Get off your phones, guys. I want to see some
Seriously. I thought we were going to ban
interaction.
phones. Word on the street was that we were going to ban phones.
Yeah. Well, they're allowed to listen to music and stuff, but they're getting tags from their friends of what they had, what each other had. Casey's got keys
got kings.
under the gun. And everyone's getting so greasy. Everyone got up, rolled in butter, and came to play. Because everybody's limping with their big pairs, and Casey's loving this race by Peter.
And I'll go back to what I said before. I don't like limping with the big pairs in early position. And it's an old school
That's
move.
because you're terrible.
It's in a lot of older poker books. I know.
Yeah, but
it's so
look
obvious.
how much he's gonna take.
Unless you're gonna flat, if you're gonna like flat a raise here and get like super, then like check raise the flop.
Flat is super greasy, and you really have to be a great player to get the flat. You have to know how to play post flop great, and be okay with folding. But
And the jig is up. And hey, guess what? I have a big pair.
the thing is, what's his range here? He could have ace king. He
Nope.
could have.
Nope. Big pair. That's it. Big pair chase me.
You
That's
think
it.
ace king isn't gonna limp raise here?
No, players do, and I see him do it. I just think it's just like, it's so
Limping big pair
obvious.
is meh. Limping big pair.
Yeah, it's just so obvious what you have. I think you're much better off disguising the strength of your hand when you have, or just opening. I mean, opening out an early position that like indicates weakness. But I think players are more likely to put you on a wider range if you're just opening there versus limp re-raising. Limping, re-raising, it kind of really narrows it down.
I'll tell you. You know what it's with your thought process. It might be good for someone who is afraid to see a flop, who's bad post flop. They just wants to scoop up the pot right there.
I can see that. Players that don't want to play post flop poker.
There's a lot of players out there that are afraid of the flop, that are afraid of post flop play. I've seen them in cash games and tournaments, and they say it. They don't want to see a flop, which is unfortunate because you're almost always dominating unless someone gets super lucky.
Casey's flopped a set of kings, let out 135.
I love it. He lets out
I really
on a
don't-
set of kings.
I really don't like Clint calling.
Casey's just praying that Clint has an ace. He's like, please, poker gods, if you exist.
I love Clint leading out, or I'm sorry, Casey leading out there especially after Casey or Clint call the limp re-raise, hoping that he's got an ace. But Clint calling the king queen off. I know he's got position, but after Casey limp re-raises, he's so far behind it. I mean, the only hand he can really beat is queens.
Well, he just needs a queen on the river to win.
Oh yeah, sure. And that board is so bad for Clint versus someone who limps and then re-raises pre.
The only thing I could think of was that he floated, like kind of essentially floated the flop there, and was going to try to get aggressive on the turn to see what Casey was going to do on the turn, and maybe try to represent an ace.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either, but I'm just trying to figure it out too.
I don't like it. I think King Queen just plays so bad versus players versus someone
Versus
that
everybody.
versus everybody. But good for Clint. He finally gets away from it on the turn. But I just really feel that. I mean, you're much better off in that spot.
Okay, so I think he was floating on the flop, and then he was going to make a move on the turn to see what Casey was going to do, and then he realized Casey actually has a hand. But again, that move is very obviously a big pair.
I think you're much better. I think you're much better off doing that with a medium to a smaller pocket pair. Maybe something you try to flop a set because you're expecting your opponent to have a big pair in that spot. Suited connector is going to play better than King Queen going to play because you're going to flop a pair, and if you do flop a pair, there's a decent shot that your opponent's got to flop a set.
All I hear is that
blah 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 blah.
that
I know.
limp 3-betting is so 2006. That's what I hear from you. With a big pair.
Yeah, so 1986. Exactly.
In early position. Joe, you got ace king.
Like Peter's put in a raise at 20, I believe.
You have to 3-bet this, Joe, and you do. And you do like a boss. It's the yellow submarine folds. The trifecta.
What's up, Sarah?
First seed in the trifecta.
I just realized who
Yeah, well, thanks.
Segusta.
Welcome.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm here now. Joe puts in a 3-bet to 85. Kyle's got ace queen suited. We saw Kyle
He's out of
4-bet
position, yeah.
earlier with ace queen, but this time exactly out of position. Does not want to play. I'm surprised he didn't maybe even at least call.
So
Joe's been playing a lot of hands. I'm surprised he didn't at least make a call there.
Kyle made a bad call earlier, and then he's still thinking about that.
His confidence is shaken, and now now he's just a train wreck. He has to go. now you're gonna
soul is broken.
You're gonna revoke his honey badger status.
Honey badgers still don't care, but maybe he needs a little recovery time. I think it was a great fold. Out of position, ace queen doesn't play very well, and position in these higher limit games means a lot. You're almost always behind, right?
Means a lot in any